Charles, one thing I've got you up here. We've got midnight coming up. This is probably the most exciting thing on my mind. And probably a lot of people here would love to hear more. And in particular, I guess, like, the gaming narrative is a big narrative leading into this bull cycle. What could we see? Like, how could Midnight, I guess, empower projects that are focused on gaming?
Well, the core about Midnight is the ability to keep a secret. That's what a blockchain can't do right now, and Midnight can do that. And so that's a requirement for real-world use cases. When we think about any business, there's a private side and a public side. And so, for example, let's say you run a McDonald's. Well, how much do you pay your employees? How much does each employee make per hour? How much overtime did they get? When would they get their sick days? When did you have a disciplinary action against your employee? A lot of that stuff is probably private to the public. Even if it's known within the management circle, it's obviously not on your front door that you disclose. And that's like simple business, like McDonald's. Well, what about a complex business? Like, for example, the defense industry. You've got, I own a Black Hawk helicopter, and there's all kinds of new, cool, interesting things Sikorsky's doing for the military. None of that is public. Even in the helicopter world, they kind of keep that stuff very tight-lipped and secret. So that's just how business is at every level and every scale. So blockchain is kind of deceiving because they say, oh, blockchain is going to run the whole world. Oh, but by the way, we can't keep a secret. Everything's public, transparent, auditable, time-stamped. That's awesome, but it means that all the private stuff actually has to go on a centralized server somewhere. So how is that decentralized? So what Midnight does is it gives you the ability to do both sides at the same time, but keep it decentralized. It's a pretty powerful concept, which means that is the bridge between the legacy world and the DeFi world. And it's the single most useful and valuable thing is coming to Cardano, powered by Cardano. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome. You mentioned games. Let's say we're playing a game of poker. You have a public and a private part. There's the shuffled deck and your personal cards. You don't want those public until they've been dealt and they've been called, right? So during the game, you want to keep those private. So that's the private component until the game is over. That round is over, and then you show your cards. Well, that then goes from private to public. And you want to make sure it's a fair game because you don't want the shuffling being done on a centralized server. Because what if Bob owns the centralized server? He's going to go tell Bill, who's playing against you, who's his best friend, all your cards, and then they know all your hands. So you need that to be decentralized in order to win. So it's a very simple example, but turns out that covers a huge amount of use cases in real world business from everything you can imagine. So we're building it. We've been building it for 6 years. It's super fucking complicated. There's tons of moving pieces to it. And the math is super hard and it makes my head hurt. But we've learned a lot along the way, and we've gotten it to a point where we've rolled together a lot of very expensive and extremely powerful technologies, and Cardano will be best to market with this capability, and we'll be able to sell this capability to the Ethereum ecosystem and the Bitcoin ecosystem and many others, which will bring a ton of cross-chain traffic into the Cardano network. So I'm very excited about that, and I think it's going to open Cardano up, and what will end up happening is there'll be a boatload of people that don't even know under the hood they're using our technology. They're just using it for some privacy component that they need in their application.
Love it. Love it. Boss Face, over to you, my friend.